My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
From crippled boy to football star and war hero, Tom Hanks is Forrest Gump.
Where were you hit?
In the buttocks, son.
I'd kind of like to see that.
Go! What's your sole purpose in this army?
To do whatever you tell me, drill sergeant.
God damn it, Gump! You're a goddamn genius.
I just felt like running.
Forrest, I do love you.
She was my most special friend.
Winner of 6 Oscars, Forrest Gump. New Year's Day at 9 on BBC One.
There's sci-fi action over on BBC Two Wales shortly in the film Official Denial. Just before we join Dave Allen on BBC One Wales, time for an update on tonight's National Lottery draw. The 6 winning numbers are confirmed as 8, 13, 18, 21, 23 and 29, and the bonus number is 30. Early indications show there are 6 jackpot winners, each winning just over £700,000 each.
Say a big hello to the end of the year show with Angus Deaton and a festive feast of talent that includes Dale Winter, Mark Lamar, Errol Brown, and a special performance from opera diva Leslie Garrett. Then it's live to north of the border, reeling in the new year with a little help.
Join me, Carol Smiley, here in Edinburgh for the biggest party of the year, Hogmanay Live.
With the end of the year show at 11 and Hogmanay Live at 12:10, it's sure to be a New Year's Eve to remember on BBC One.
Well, now on BBC One Wales, the unique Dave Allen, here with a new series, looking back at 20 years in the business.
I'm beginning to find that Christmas is becoming much more stressful. I mean, years ago, I could actually deal with things like Christmas tree lights. Now, I'm one of those few people, actually, I don't bring my Christmas tree into the house until Christmas Eve. The lights work perfectly. Looks beautiful. 2 hours before the shops close, every little bastard light goes. And then for the next 2 hours, I am scampering like a lunatic around London, like a demented lunatic, in ever-increasing circles, searching madly for one little green Christmas tree light that was made in Taiwan in 1967.
Father Christmas. And my father had said, Father Christmas is there. So I think he'd given me a half-crown or something like that. And I went in, and there was the grotto, Father Christmas's grotto. And this fellow said, do you want to get in the lucky dip there? And he said, come and tell me what you want. He sat me in his lap. I was about 6 or something at the time. And all I could think of was, he smelt of Guinness. And his fingers were covered with nicotine stains. And I thought, gee, I don't really want this fellow coming into the house at night.
The other thing I've noticed about Christmas, you buy a box of crackers, and it says, made in Great Britain with foreign parts. Aren't we all? And the thing about that, the crackers, it's not the crackers so much, it's the hats. The hats you get in those. Why can't they fit? I mean, what, you either get them slipping over your eyes, or they sit there perched on the top of the head. Now, who do they test these hats out on? I mean, are there 2 fellows in Singapore sitting in some little sweatshop, one with an enormous head, and one with a head 3 7/8? Oh, this for me, all for you.
Christmas wrapping.
Oh, very good.
Hat.
Christmas hat. Mom.
More. Bigger.
Hatter. The writer fellow, Alice. Alice. It's coming. Lewis Carroll. Christmas Lewis.
Christmas Carol.
Yes, Christmas.
I thought you'd never get it. We're
I said Christmas Lewis.
My lady.
Oh,
My lady, it's very important.
I say, let him act it out. Come on, Charles. Come on, man.
Yes, come on,
This will be jolly good fun.
No.
Come on, act it out. How many words?
How many words, Charles?
Five.
is it a play? Oh, say it.
Say it. Right.
First word.
Yes.
Little one.
Little one.
The.
First word, the.
Really?
Second word.
Drinking. Oh, drunk. No, like drunk. Blotto. Like blotto. Shorter. Lotto. Housey. Shorter. House. The house. Third word.
Yes, it's very good.
Tongue.
Scrooge.
Snake.
Serpent.
Like a snake.
More. Hearing.
Like a snake. Like a snake.
Serpent sound. Hiss.
Shorter than that.
Is. The house is.
House is
Carpet. The house is.
Table.
The house is down. No. Under. On. The house is on. House is throwing. House is lighting. House is
Match
lighting.
house.
Then house is warm. House is on fire.
I still, even with the Christmas tree, what is this lunacy with Christmas trees? What is this need we have at Christmas, because a young Jewish child was born in Palestine, we suddenly say, we've got to bring Christmas trees into a house? Can you imagine at any other time of the year, if you brought a tree into the house? Silver balls on it, and a fairy on the top, it put you away. Now, actually, this year, to ensure that I got a good Christmas tree this year, I went and picked it earlier. I got it 2 weeks ago. And it was perfect. Beautiful shape. Wonderful shape. Dark green, thick, and bushy. That was then. Now it looks like it's suffering from acid rain. Even the fairy on the top is losing his hair. I spent half of Christmas sweeping up, cleaning up those pine needles so many times that the bag on the side of my Hoover looks like a fat porcupine. Mistletoe's to kiss people under, and the people that you have to kiss are the one people you never really want to kiss, kind of hairy ants. I had a kind of real hairy, I mean, she looked like a plucked chicken. I mean, she had the tooth and she had hair here and little kind of spikes coming out. And she was always, oh, James David, give us a kiss there. Oh, give us a nice big kiss. You know. And the person you wanted to kiss is somebody you really wanted to grab a hold of. They wouldn't come near you. And there was other people, come on over here, give us a kiss. And, oh, geez, she had a whiskey and a sherry. And, you know, it was all that. And you'd have to stand there. And I had one Eileen, Auntie Eileen, who had the biggest pair of tits in the world. And she'd come, oh, come on, you're in between these things. And you went, give us a kiss under the mistletoe. You have to kiss me. And to this day, I never have mistletoe in the house. Now, the only thing regarding Christmas and Christmas trees is it's not only difficult to get a Christmas tree, but if you think back over the past Christmas, it's even more difficult to get rid of the bloody thing. I mean, you try getting rid of the Christmas tree at the end of Christmas, the dustman won't take it. You can't burn it because you live in a smokeless zone. And you find yourself, after the Christmas, surreptitiously creeping around your neighborhood, trying to find a builder's skip. And you can't find one, so you dump it in somebody's garden. And you think, thank Christ, got rid of it! Come back to your own house and there's 2 Christmas trees. right, Sergeant. Hook quite, sir. Oh, thank you very much, sir. Oh. Listen, sir. It's Jerry. Jerry singing. Yes, Sergeant. Listen to what he's singing. A Christmas carol.
Happy Christmas, Jerry! Happy Christmas, Tommy!
Jerry!
Yeah?
I have some whiskey. Would you like a drop?
Yeah! Tommy! I have some schnapps!
I'll meet you in no man's land.
Yeah!
No, it's a trick, sir. Don't go. It's a trick. Sergeant, don't be ridiculous. No, you don't understand. It's a trick, sir. A trick. Don't go. What a filthy trick to play on Christmas Day. That's what I was trying to tell you, sir. It's not Christmas. It's April the 1st.
A lot of the gags were elaborate, yes, but they had to be. If you were doing a church gag, then you had to use, in a sense, you had to use the whole of the church. You couldn't just, you couldn't just knock something over. You had to knock something over that knocked something else over, that knocked something else over, which it has to spread out, because there's a point where you say, oh, that's a funny gag. Oh, hey, that's a funny gag. That's the end of the gag, and then it comes back on itself. And then you think, hey, yeah, that's the end of the gag, but it's not. There's still more to come.
Quickly! Quickly! Shall we go? Hooray! Quickly! Fish-kicker, don't get the move! Back, you fool! Back! Drive on, Boris! Drive on! Bastard! Revolution! Faster! Kill the rich! Kill the rich! Stop!
extraordinary in a way. It's very illogical, actually, when you pick up something which is purely alcohol and say to somebody, good health. When you actually think of the properties of alcohol, the damage it does to you, it destroys your brain cells, gives you enormous headaches, double vision, DTs, destroys your stomach lining, your bladder, your kidney, your liver. And we say, good health. We say, cheers, good health, long life, happiness. We should be actually saying, misery, short life, bad health. It's very odd, that, actually, isn't it? I mean, we don't actually pick up anything that's healthy. We never toast somebody with a glass of water or a cup of tea. I mean, if you're in a bar, you look across and you go... If you're in a cafe with a cup of coffee, you know...
Drinking is basically social, it's relaxation, and it's generally fun. And it allows you to drop your guard a little bit and be a bit more honest and open and be silly. And most of the gags, most of the boozy gags I've done, because they're slightly innocent. That's the way I like them to be. The drunk, no, it's the walking around with his penguin. And the policeman says, "What are you doing?" He said, "Penguin." He said, "Well, take him to the zoo." So that's the end of that. The policeman, 4 hours later, meets the same fellow with the penguin. He said, "I thought I told you to take the penguin to the zoo." He said, "I did, and he liked it very much. I'm taking him to the library now." I mean, they're just silly gags.
Get a little Irish fellow, great drinker, buys himself a pair of water skis. And now he spends all his time looking for a lake with a slope. Get the other fellow going across the road, and every time he puts his foot in, he goes, cars, cars. And the fellow goes up and he says, "There's a zebra crossing up there." He said, "Well, I hope he's having better luck than me."
I fell in love with a lady who had a pub about a mile away from us called Lena Delaney. It was a lovely, lovely lady. And I used to go up to the pub, and it was just a little country pub, just a lounge bar and a public bar, which was about 8 foot, 9 foot on each side. And the old farmers used to be in there, and I used to go in and go, "Oh, hello there, Davy, come on in there, Davy." And there'd be a fire in there, and they'd all be sitting and talking, and you know, I was a kid, and just 6 years of age, or 7 or whatever it was, and I'd just be with them, and they'd play rings. They'd have these rubber circles that they'd throw at a board, and I'd play, and they'd go, "On, Davy, try and get a 9 there," and I'd play. And Lena used to pour me out little shot glasses, whiskey shot glasses of Guinness, little ones, and all the other fellows, they'd all have their pints. They'd all be drinking, and I'd be drinking a little Guinness. And that was my kind of introduction into it.
You get a little fellow in a bar having a drink, and all of a sudden outside, Hell's Angels. 6 of them with the swastikas, the leather jackets, all like this. Yeah. And as he passed this little fellow who's having a drink, one of them takes the pint off him and pours it right over his head. "Take that, darling, right over your head, eh?" And another one gets his crisps and he goes, smack him into his face. And another one gets a soda siphon and sticks it up his nose and he goes, The little fellow doesn't say a word. He just gets up, walks out of the pub. And they go up to the bar, the 6 lads, and says, "6 pints. Not much of a man, him, was he?" And the barman's pulling the pants and says, "He's not much of a driver either. He's just run over your motorbike."
I like the froth. I mean, if my father had a Guinness, I was occasionally allowed a little sip of the froth. But I loved the froth. And my brother and myself, we hit the cupboard one day and got the Guinness, a couple of bottles of Guinness, and we kept on tipping them from one glass into another to get the froth. But there wasn't enough froth for us. So we added Andrew's liver sauce, which was, you know, it was like Mount Vesuvius. And we were, wow, but...
That's it.
You're off then.
Take out. Happy New Year.
Bye. Happy New Year.
One for the road. All right, here she goes. Way. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Is that indoor fireworks too? Have you seen it? Indoor fireworks. The serpent. You light it. Zzz, bingo! Dog turd. It looks exactly like dog turd. Mount Vesuvius. Dog turd. Hot air Zeppelin. A flying dog turd.
My aunts were an industry all on their own. I had numerous aunts who, from probably the end of August, September, would start knitting. And everything you got was knitted. You got, if you were small, you got those mittens that had just no fingers and the thumb. That was a present. Or then you got the ones with cutaway fingers. Or then you get proper gloves. Scarves, ties, jumpers, socks, they were all presents. I mean, I had an aunt who actually knitted me a pair of swimming trunks out of wool, which were fine when you went into the water. When you came out of the water, it looked like you were built like an elephant. I mean, it just hung, it all stretches down.
The most annoying thing about Christmas is wrapping paper. Now, why can't the manufacturers of wrapping paper make wrapping paper so large that it can wrap up 2 presents? Why is it always just 1.5? It's actually got to the point now that I buy my presents to fit the paper.
I had an aunt who was in Canada, and I'd said somewhere along the line, I'd love to get an Indian suit. And she was in Canada, so she thought the best thing she could do would be to get me a real Indian suit. And she went off, and she got an Indian suit for me, from where, I don't know, but I assume kind of Indian suit store. And it was made out of leather, and it had all the little figgly bits down the trousers. Real moccasins, a jacket, a belt with beading on it, a scabbard for my knife, a little bow and arrow, and headdress, lots of feathers, and some makeup if I wanted to put crisscrosses in. And I woke up on Christmas morning, and there's this thing on the end of the bed. And Jesus, the excitement. I mean, And I got into it, and I couldn't wait to get out. And I'm out, I got my rubber tomahawk and my bow and arrow, and I got my dagger. And every other kid in the district has had a cowboy suit. And they come down and beat the shit out of me. They were actually trying to tie me to a tree to set me alight. I mean, they'd gone so far with it.
He's coming. We must hide.
In here. Emma! Emma, quick! Quick! Daddy is good at hide and seek.
More from the unique Dave Allen on Sunday at 10:05. Angus Deaton sees out the old and welcomes in the new. It's the end of the year show coming up next on BBC One.
Good night. Thank you, and may your God go with you.
Try it again.
With the very finest vehicles.
I'm not an expert, I'm afraid. But I don't think it's supposed to do that.
Skilled drivers.
Oi, don't have a crash.
No, that is a shame. I was really looking forward to a smash-up today.
Expert management.
Zombie.
And absolutely no scandal.
Her husband said he was taking her out to lunch.
What do you mean, her husband? I'm her husband.
I just assumed it was her husband. No, he came out of the bedroom.
Cresta cabs are Roger and ready to go, beginning January the 8th on BBC One.